Hey y'all, it's Heather at Pink Magnolia Wreaths, and I am back to show you this fall door hanger I am working on. I have had this in my shop for a little while with just a simple little bow on it, but it's not selling, so I thought I might try to do something a little bit more with it. So I think I'm gonna do some florals and greenery and then add a bow. So let's see how this goes. All right, so I got some greenery here that I got from Craft Outlet. Hold on, my light just cut out on me. Okay, well, I guess my light has decided to quit, but that's okay. We'll keep on going here. Well, it flashed. Okay, well, maybe it needs a minute. So gonna start out with some of this. I think it's Ruscus. I got it at Craft Outlet. In case I didn't already say that. I'm looking for a few more pieces. Got another bunch of it right here. Gonna pull it off and cut a couple more pieces. There are my wire cutters. You can get those at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or wherever. Okay, so just gonna kind of see which pieces, what the length is on these pieces. Okay, looks like this piece is a good bit longer, so I'm gonna trim it up a little bit. I don't know if y'all hear my washing machine singing in the background there. I'm just gonna ignore it, keep on doing this. Okay, so let's see here. Gonna go ahead and just lay these pieces down. I think that's gonna be enough. Let me get some zip ties. I'm gonna take these off and I'm gonna feed the zip tie through here. All right, that is backwards, so let me flip it over. You'll just get to see me make all the mistakes today. Okay, so there we go, that's gonna fit. So then I'm gonna lay pieces like this. Make sure these are all in here good. All right, I'm gonna cut that off. Okay, so kind of got a base going here. Okay. So let's see here. I think I'm gonna put some sunflowers on here. I'm liking sunflowers for fall. Let's see here. These are different lengths. They're very pretty. I'm not sure where these came from, to be honest with you. Trim that up a little bit. Okay, so I'll put two on each side. One's a little longer than the other, so I'm gonna put the longer one on the bottom. I think that'll look nicer. If I change my mind later, I'll move them. Okay. So the two on each side. I have these green berries with long leaves. I like the variety in the color. Just kind of adds a different, add something different to it. I think I'm just going to put these in between the sunflowers. Kind of break that up a little bit. Okay, so far I like that. Let's see if I need to add anything else. I think this is too spring, so we won't put that on there. I have a couple of these green and brown leaves. I think I'll throw these on here just to add a little more fall to it. Just gonna stick those right there. Okay, so I think this is gonna be what it looks like before I add the bow. So let me go ahead and grab another zip tie. Maybe this way would be the best way to do it. There we go. All right, and then just trim the excess up. I have the rough end pointing this way so it won't rub on the door. As you can see there. All right, so this is the back. A little rough place right here. I'm gonna trim that off if I can. Okay, that looks a little better. All right, did I lose anything when I flip that over? Oop, I lost one leaf. Okay, well, let's see if we can wiggle this in somewhere. Okay, that looks like that's in there. I'll move these sunflowers a little closer. There we go. Okay, I think that looks better. All right, so I'm gonna set this whole thing to the side. And we're gonna do a bow. I love a bow maker. They just make life so much easier. This one is the M's Bow and Go bow maker. I'm not gonna make a huge bow like I usually do with one of these. I'm probably gonna make a smaller bow. And let's see. I like this ribbon, but I'm not sure with my sunflowers if that's the direction I need to go. I have this gold, maybe that. You know what? I think this is going to be perfect. Let's see if it matches with that. Yeah, I think that's going to work really good. Okay, so let's just try this and see if we like it. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to get. All right, so let's start with this on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and fold it in half, dovetail it, and let me just pull this back over here so we can see what size I want to do these tails. I'm trying to decide if I want to do it droopy or short tails. feel like if I do long tails, I'm gonna lose the shape of the leaf. So I think I'm just gonna do shorter tails. So I think maybe, let's see what length that is. Yeah, maybe do an 8-inch tail. Okay, so I'm gonna do an 8-inch tail. And 7.5-inch loop. I'll do another 7.5-inch loop on this side. You can see I'm just measuring out here on my bow maker. And this is why I think it's so much easier. Because it just holds it and then you just do what you need to do with it. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 loops on one side, 1 loop on the other. And the tails are gonna be on the side with the 1 loop. Go ahead and cut this tail at 8 inches. And then dovetail this in. All right, and then I always just put whatever my favorite ribbon is on the top. And obviously that's gonna be this pretty sunflower one. Okay, so we're gonna start on the opposite side this time. 8-inch tail on this side. And you do 7.5-inch loop on that side. We're just gonna do the same thing on this side. Another 7.5-inch loop. Oop, I think I bumped my phone. Sorry, no earthquake going on here, just clumsy. Okay, and if it's not exact perfect, that is okay. You can always kind of adjust things later as you need to. All right, dovetail on this end. And dovetail, you fold it in half and you just kind of draw an imaginary diagonal line with your scissors there. Cut it off and it gives it this pretty V shape. Bow, I'm probably going to use a pipe cleaner. I think pipe cleaners are just so much easier to use than floral wire and zip ties. They're my favorite. All right, so I've gathered my bow, pulled it off the bow maker, made sure that I kept it all in a nice neat stack. As you can see, it's all stacked on top of each other. It's not, you know, sliding beside each other. So now I'm flipping it all forward, as you can see, and then pulling the pipe cleaner back. Twist the whole bow around a few times. If you twist the bow instead of the pipe cleaner, you'll get a tighter twist and a fluffier bow. So now we're just gonna fluff out our loops and tails. So 1 loop down, 1 loop up, 1 tail down, 1 tail up, and we'll just leave this loop in the middle. Just kind of spreading everything out so it looks, so you can see it all, and make sure my loops are big and fluffy. You don't want flat loops. And then doing kind of the, let's see here. Doing the same thing here. So 1 tail up, 1 tail down, loop in the middle. And then just kind of trying to fill in the spaces in between. So in between this tail and loop, I'll put a loop, and here's an empty space I'll put there. All right, so you can kind of see how I've got all my spaces filled. All right, let me leave some of these supplies. I definitely did not use anywhere near as much as I thought I might, but I like to have options. Y'all did not hear that just hit the ground. Okay. Leave in the comments if you ever drop your supplies on the ground on accident or on purpose. Okay, so here's my bow. As you can see, I've got the pipe cleaners pulled through, flipping it over, pulling them real tight, twisting it around. All right, let's look at the front and see how that's looking before we cut it off. Let's see here. I like it. I'm liking it. Okay. It's a little, not quite as full as I want it. Sorry, I had to pull it off camera to kind of look at it, the view I wanted. So I may change it up and do them with long tails after all. Sometimes you just have to experiment and figure out what you like. Okay. Trying to see if we think this will, yeah, I think this will look fine. So what we're gonna do is do a little different style though. All right, this will give us a little bit more width. I think that's what the sew is needing. So let's see here. I'm gonna do about a 12-inch tail, and I did dovetail that. I'm gonna do an 8-inch loop. On both sides. So I'll probably do 3 8-inch loops. If I got enough ribbon to do 3 8-inch, if not, we may have to do 7.5. So it is currently June when I am making this, and it is not feeling like fall at all outside. What time of the year do you start thinking about fall decorating and planning what your home is going to look like for the fall? Leave that in the comments because I want to know. So I know some people are probably freaking out at home saying, you can't think about this in June. But hey, we got to be ahead, right? Got to be prepared. Okay, so my tails are done and loops are done. Okay. Let's just go ahead and hold. I'll go ahead and hold this up here. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So this is, we're gonna keep rolling with this. Okay. So then I'm gonna get this gold. I'm just gonna see here if I need to do any cutting. All right, so I'm gonna do the tails the same length. Maybe they may be a tiny bit shorter, but about the same length. All right, so loops are gonna be 7.5. Just be a little bit shorter. And I'm just gonna do 1 loop of each on this, I think. Yeah, 1 loop of each on that. Cut the other tail to match. Dovetail. All right, now we got the sunflower ribbon. Okay, so make sure the tails match, and then we're gonna do 2 loops on the front for this one. Well, not on the front, but 2 7-inch loops. So 1, 2, cut, dovetail this tail, and then find my pipe cleaner. Or just grab another one. Okay, so again, I got everything all gathered in my hand, making sure it's all kind of staying together nicely. Pulling the pipe cleaner to the back, pushing everything forward, twisting it about 3 times. And then we're gonna put it on here. So flipping it over to the back. There we go. Don't want to go on there. Okay, that's still a little bit too floppy, so let's see here. We're gonna pull it. Okay. Now we're gonna fluff it out a little bit. Okay, so tails. Kind of straighten out all my tails. Okay, so let's see. This one's a little bit short. I'll pull it, try to loosen it up just a little bit. Oh, there we go. Maybe too much. I don't know. Okay, so that's fine. These are close enough. This one looks a little bit, needs a little evening up there. Okay, tails look great. Then we're just gonna spread our loops out, fluff them up. So you just get 3 or 4 fingers in there, spread them out. A lot of times I don't like to do loops over 8 inches, unless you've got a really stiff ribbon. They're just not gonna stay and hold their shape good. Okay, so now we got a really pretty bow and sunflowers and greenery, and we'll clear a little space here so we can kind of see what our final product looks like here. So this is kind of where we're at. All right. Thanks for crafting with me today. Bye.